Hey house guests, welcome to another BB Can 7 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Melissa A. Thank you so much for your support, Melissa. We truly could not do this without you. We appreciate you, and if anybody else would like to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. So, we left off yesterday. Not a whole lot going on in the house. I mean, here and there. Kiki and Esty had a little chat. They seem very accidentally smarter than they act. They correctly identified Eddie as a coaster. They correctly identified Mark as a floater. And if you don't know, coaster is somebody who coasts through the game and just, I think they just end up there by a little bit of luck and some wind. A floater floats back and forth from the different powers, playing two or more sides of the house. I wonder if they consider themselves coasters or floaters. I would consider them both coasters, pretty much. I wonder what they think of themselves, though, if they're making some power moves here or what. Eddie and Anthony. Eddie goes to Anthony and he's worried about being a pawn because he feels like his name's been thrown out there quite a bit this past week. And Anthony said, you know what, Eddie, you are a great pawn because you are so well liked. People would use you to get somebody else out or as a pawn. And Eddie says, Anthony, you're also well liked as well. I wonder if Eddie meant you'd make a good pawn too. But they agree that they will both make the jury, and that's that. So, Kira and Sam. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. Deep breath. Kira and Sam have a conversation. And Kira says to Sam, Chelsea wants to kiss me before I go, or before Chelsea goes. But they don't want to get in trouble. Not meaning Kira. Chelsea does not want to get in trouble. I'm supposing because she's got a boyfriend. And Kira wants this to happen, obviously, because they have a crush on Chelsea. Sam says, why don't you do it in the shower or something, or in the bathroom? And Kira says, no, we have to do it under the covers so that it won't be on camera. Oh, that won't be obvious at all. They, meaning Kira, they don't want to cross the line, though. They realize that there is a line of consent, and they are correct. But they reveal that they have tickled Chelsea's back and butt. They are always talking about cuddles and tickles. And it's got nothing to do with them. But I remember this old episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David goes to the doctor because he has a tickle in his anus. And that's all I could think about when I hear her mention tickles and cuddles. And I'm like, oh, it's just making me very uncomfortable for that reason. Thank you, Larry David. Kira has already tried to kiss Chelsea, but Chelsea turned her head away. Kira does not think this is going to go anywhere because Chelsea is not into girls. Chelsea is attracted to guys, but maybe it could, says Kira. I don't think so, but they seem to think that if Chelsea didn't have a boyfriend, they would have been making out already. That's bold. Kira then adds, I hope we get alcohol tonight. Yeah. Didn't you just say that you were concerned about consent? Alcohol figures into that equation. So I don't see how concerned you are about consent then. I think that was just, you know, a little fishing there on your part with Sam to see if Chelsea said anything, maybe. All right. Chelsea and Sam have a chat, and they did not talk about making out with Kira. Chelsea said she's got Eddie's vote because nobody wants to work with Eddie. I think Eddie just told you that. Because what is he going to say? No, because then you're just going to keep working on him. She's going to sell the idea of her as a meat shield if she stays in the house. Good luck with that, because you're almost to the point of no return. Almost. I think you might be there. All right. What is it they say? Your chances are slim to none, and Slim just left town. So Dane and Esty have a chat. And Esty lets Dane know that Mark told Chelsea that if she gets 4 votes to let him know. Because then Mark will vote to keep Chelsea. Oh. You know what? I'm sure Dane was not surprised at hearing this at all, but of course he had to act like, whoo, surprised. So, no alcohol, kids. It's a water pong night, because that's fun. Fun fact, I've never played beer pong, water pong, or any kind of pong. Is it fun? I mean, if you're not drinking. So, Kiki tells Damien and Esty, Mark said, I don't know why you intrigue me so much. Yikes. Methinks Mark has a crush on Kiki. And Kiki asked Damien for help. Help, what do I do? And basically he said, you're effed. Wait, maybe you could tell him you're not, like, into this, like, on a show. You don't want to, like, date somebody on a show. Oh, too late. Mark already asked her to a concert in Vancouver after the show's over. That is so tough. I feel bad for her. She's in a tough position. So then they're talking about Chelsea campaigning this week, and they said, wait, what campaigning? She hasn't been campaigning to us. I guess, well, they're supposing that Chelsea probably thinks that it's a lost cause, and that's pretty lame, though. They also say if you're on the block, you should, like, campaign no matter what. So Eddie joins in and says, wait a minute, Chelsea's been campaigning to me, but I'm not buying it. Now, who is he telling the truth to? The girls or Chelsea? I think he probably just gave Chelsea, you know, some lip service, like, you know what, all right, if you can get, like the same thing Mark said, maybe, like, if you can get the votes, I'll vote with the house. So Dane and Kira have a chat. They want to know, are they still good? And Dane says yes. He's counting off the votes. Don't worry about it. Kira says, I'll be back on Wednesday, and I'll say, am I still good? And if I'm not, I will campaign for myself, but I won't campaign against Chelsea if necessary. So tonight, meaning last night, they were planning on playing Truth or Dare, because the only thing that Kira can think about right now is making out with Chelsea. I guess I already shipped them. Kelsey. Alright, Dane's like, alright, well, I'll dare Chelsea to kiss you. And Kira says, okay, well, I'll dare Esty to kiss you. Do you think she'll go for it? And Dane said, no. And he's right. Finally, somebody with some self-awareness. He realizes Esty is not a showmance. Esty is a friend-mance. So good for you, Dane. Good for you. He knows what's going on. All right, so it's heads up time. Damien is trying to find out who was trying to flip the vote. After his talk with Eddie, Eddie told him that others besides Adam and Chelsea were trying to flip the vote, which is true. So, Chelsea and Anthony have a little chat. This was still last night. And Anthony said, you shouldn't have gone after Dane. So he is definitely like trying to scold her here and put her in her place. You're going to need to talk to Dane, see what Dane says, because Dane's in charge this week. So you're going to have to go right to the head. She doesn't think that she can backtrack, though. I think she felt like she's burned too many bridges with Dane. But they agreed to talk more tomorrow. All right, it's tomorrow, meaning today. And Anthony, Mark, and Dane are having a chat. I believe it was in the storage room. And Anthony tells them that Chelsea said that she's not campaigning because Kira told Chelsea not to. Because the whole house is voting her out. They're cooking up a really unnecessary plan. You know, at first I thought, well, this is just humiliating for Chelsea. But I guess it does have a little gameplay involved in it. But boy, are they really enjoying it. They're really enjoying watching her squirm. And they want to get Chelsea to expose Sam as the mastermind of Sam and Adam. I mean, who doesn't know that already? Anybody can see that the weak link of the Pretty Boys Alliance is Adam. If Adam didn't have the Pretty Boys Alliance, he probably would have been sent home already. They want to throw a target onto Sam so that Sam goes in the double or next week and still vote out Chelsea on top of it. Yeah, that is adding insult to injury. Alright, so Chelsea wants to have a house meeting to call out Adam. She still thinks that it could do something at this point to keep her in the game, but I think this game is already got a fork sticking out of it. It is done. So Adam's not for that, for obvious reasons. And he'll have to not talk to her for the last 2 days then, which sucks, because I think he really likes her as a person. It's just that they are against each other in this game. So Damien and Chelsea have a chat. I was expecting him to be like, hey, who tried to flip the vote? But they didn't get to talk about it because I think Anthony joined in. But they sat around the hot tub talking about how different this game is than they expected it was going to be. And they are not all about the lying. They don't want to hate themselves. Especially Damien, wants to play an honest game because he's an honest guy. And I'm surprised he made it this far, honestly. If he hadn't had advantages of, of being Canadian favorite, I don't know, with the Canada's vote. I don't know if that really did anything for his game. I think he just laid low, maybe not by choice, and it got him pretty far so far. Alright, Chelsea and Dane have a chat. This is the chat that Anthony said to have. Chelsea says, the people that I was working with are not supporting me. And Dane said, go talk to people in the house, but don't get too emotional. You could still do this, girl. This was the Chelsea I was waiting for to show up, blah, blah, blah. He's like, don't roll over and die. Because he's encouraging her to throw Sam under the bus. This is the ultimate goal. I don't know why they have such a vendetta against Sam. I'm not exactly sure. But boy, are they expending a lot of energy trying to get rid of her. And they haven't been successful so far for a few times now. She's been a big target for a while. They just can't seem to get her. So, Esty, Kiki, and Damien have a chat. They all are not collectively buying Chelsea's campaign. She's going to go right back to who she's been working with if she stays in the house. And the twins tell Damien that Sam was the one trying to flip the vote on him. So he said, oh, thank you. So I guess he's going to be investigating. Spoiler alert. Alright, so Kira and Chelsea have a chat. And Kira told Chelsea that they saw the boys meeting in the storage room and the archive room, and they have a special signal, which is this. Pretty boys, peanut butter boys. Maybe they're wiping that peanut butter off their face, I don't know. But Chelsea's like probably thinking, oh geez, this is some good information that I could finally use. Maybe I should do my house meeting after all. And this is a real sticky situation because Kira and Chelsea are both up on the block. Kira is giving Chelsea this information that could potentially do nothing, probably, right? Let's be honest. There's not much of a chance that Chelsea's going to stay, and Kira knows it. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have told her that information, even though they are head over heels in lust with her. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Is this house meeting ever gonna happen? I don't know. But Damien and Sam have a chat. I guess he tracked her down after he heard from Kiki and Esty that she was trying to flip the vote. And she says, "Sir, you are wrong. I was the one who flipped the vote back for you to stay." Who is lying? Damien's head must be spinning. Obviously somebody's lying because you can't have it both ways. Maybe you should ask, I don't know, Anthony? Alright, Dane, Eddie, they're in the archive room, and Dane decided, or so he said, I wonder if the diary room told him, hey, you better clean up that room. It looks like a disgusting pigsty. Papers thrown everywhere, boxes thrown everywhere. So him and Eddie clean up the archive room. They tidy it up. It looks less disgusting than it was before. They have a little discussion as to how many boxes are actually in there. I believe they settle on 141. Eddie leaves and Dane is like, heh, there's 143. I hid 2. And he keeps saying it to the camera. You know what? I still don't think it's got anything to do with anything. So we'll see though. We'll see what happens in the end. But I really think they're expending an awful lot of energy on the number of boxes in there for nothing. Chelsea and Sam. This is where we're leaving off tonight. It probably around 5-ish. They had chat. Chelsea said, I'm gonna blow up Adam's game. I swear I'm gonna do it. So she knows that Sam has feelings for Adam, but she's getting played. You are getting played, sister. So Sam agrees, you know what? If you've got the evidence and whatnot, go for it, do it. But make it seem like I wasn't as bad as Adam. So that's where we're leaving off. We are waiting to see if this house meeting is going to happen. I don't know how much actual campaigning is going to take place. I think Chelsea is finally realizing that they, meaning the whole house, or at least meaning the boys, like Anthony and possibly Dane, just want her to blow up her own game for their benefit. She's finally seeing what's happening, and is she gonna fall for it? Is she gonna wreck Adam's game before she goes out? I don't know. I'm thinking that the feeds, no, the feeds are going to go down on Thursday pretty early probably because it's a double eviction and they don't do it live. They film it before. So we still have at least one more full day of campaigning. I don't think it's going to get too crazy. Watch, I could be totally wrong. But if she blows, even if she blows up Adam's game, I mean, does anybody really care at this point? I mean, their names, Adam and Sam, have been thrown out for the last few weeks as being big targets. Could their targets possibly get any larger? Probably not. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you agree, disagree. And until tomorrow, much love. All right, Chelsea is starting to work on a plan to campaign. She's talking to Adam and Sam, and she thinks, well, if I start with Eddie, he could vote for me if I get some more votes, because he's going to want to vote with the House. And he doesn't like Kira, so that's a plus for me. If I could just get Anthony and Corey, and then you guys, Sam and Adam, vote for me, I'll stay. And they didn't seem to think that that was going to happen. So get back on that train of wanting to just roll over and die. All right, so Adam warns Dane. He runs and tells his boy that Chelsea's going to throw him under the bus. I thought Adam was working with Chelsea. All right. Sam and Eddie. They were having breakfast in the kitchen, and this was so sweet. Eddie was telling the story of how his parents met. They were both teachers at a school in China, and his dad was supposed to marry I love stories like this. I could listen to these all day. His dad was supposed to marry the principal's daughter. And then he saw Eddie's mom. And he was like, I'm not going to marry the principal's daughter. I'm going to marry his mom. Well, his future mom. And he had to leave his job. And they had to start a life somewhere else because it was a lot. That was great. But now the sad part of the story is Eddie's parents know that he's gay, but they don't accept him. And it's so hard. My heart was breaking for Eddie because the parents don't want to talk about it, and he's on the show, and nobody outside of his family, meaning his mom and dad, know for sure that he's gay. So he's very worried about what's going to happen when the show is over, and he has to face his family. So my heart is breaking for Eddie. And you know, Sam was so wonderful with him, reassuring him and just talking to him. And it was just, I loved that conversation. That's what I really like about when there's not a lot of strategy going on in the house and you just get those B stories. That's the funnest times in the Big Brother house. Not the stupid strategy talk of, you know, oh, I'm going to get this one out, or we're going to fool this one, or whatever. I just love when they talk about what their life is like outside of the house, and, you know, what they're going to do after the show, like on BBUS when they say, oh, we're going to go on a trip, and we're going to go here, and I want to show you this and that. So that was great. I really enjoyed that. And then Corey and Anthony were helping, I guess Damien was there too, were helping Eddie work out. I always love a good makeover story. Every season of Big Brother, no matter what country it is, they have somebody who doesn't work out all the time, or they don't take it as seriously as some of the hardcore worker outers in the house, and they take them under their wing, and they're like, hey, look, you lost like 5 or 10 pounds and you got some muscle. I'm thinking of like Bunky, or was it Cowboy maybe from a couple of seasons ago on BBUS. That's like the funnest times in the Big Brother house. So I'm hoping that tomorrow's going to be a fun time too, because I don't see a whole lot of strategy going on. I think Chelsea's pretty much a dead man walking, lame duck. There's not much going on for her. So let's get some of the fun stories of like what people's lives are. That's why I watch Big Brother. I don't know about you guys. Leave it in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on that. And we'll pick it up there tomorrow. So till then, much love.